Hello and welcome to my Ever Messy Art Studio. My name is Keeks and hi, it's good to see you. I know I haven't made videos in a while, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to catch you up with where I've been in my art journey. One of the things I do want to show you is, before we get started, is the city of St. Charles did this really cool thing for children where they like dressed up people as a bunch of characters, and while people were Christmas shopping, all the characters were out, so they gave out these really cool cards. I didn't get all of them, but I thought these would be cool for maybe collage in the future or something. So you've got Clement Clark Moore, Master of Revels, Ebenezer Scrooge, the Nutcracker Prince, the Piccadilly Peddlers, the Confectioners, the Sugar Plum Fairy, and the Mouse King. So those were the ones that we saw, but all these are the actual characters and they were dressed walking around. It was really cute because all the kids were going up to them getting their trading cards. So that happened in St. Charles. So they do have a website, www.stcharleschristmas.com. I am just putting that out there just because it was really cool and my family really appreciated it. I'm not sponsored or anything, but I wanted to show you guys these because I thought they were cool. Alright, so I wanted to do kind of a sketchbook tour, and I wanted to show you guys all of the different art that I've been doing because I haven't been sharing all of it. I've shared most of it, but I just have so much of it right now that I might as well share all of it. So the first bit of my collection is actually in this book, and I will go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Oh no, it's messy. So these are a bunch of art that I've done. As a lot of you know that I have been doing a tattoo apprenticeship, so all of these were drawn with my apprenticeship. So here's like this really cool owl and a flower down here, a whole bunch of Halloween flash. My favorite's actually this eyeball one. Let me see. I'm gonna go down. Some of them are on both pages, so I don't want to go down too far. But we've got a spider, we've got some lips, things like that. These are all of the ones that I did in October. Actually, most of this happened in October. So these are for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So you've got, you know, I really like this one, the flower over the breast. Survivor, those kind of things. And then I also did like letters with the little ribbons next to them. And then I was asked to do another set of letters as ribbons, so I got those too. One of my friends loves Baja Blast, so there was a tattoo that somebody did where it was of tacos. So instead I changed it to Baja Blast. And I think theirs had like a taco in the hand, and I just drew a can because I thought that was fun. And if I can find the original image, I will try to put it on the screen for you if I can figure out who did it. This one here is the mother, the maiden, and the crone. So I did a really cool piece there. I really enjoy doing octopuses, so I've got a couple different octopus. This one's a vampire octopus, hence why it has like little vampire teeth, because it's cute. These were all the fish that I had designed for my husband whenever I was going to make my first tattoo for him. He ended up going with this one up here. And if I can find a picture of that, I'll put it on here. For warning, that's my first ever tattoo, so it's not perfect. But we love it. It was actually based on his grandpa. His grandpa had actually discovered a type of Corydora called the Corydora adolphi, and realized that there were two different species that were cohabitating together because people in the fish community were thinking they were the same ones and they really weren't. So he actually studied their mating habits and everything, so it's really cool. Over here, some practice with a skull and some cross hatching. Oops. A mermaid, a little tower, a snake, like a little Egyptian snake. I thought that was kind of cool. This is based off of Fortnite, and it's like medic stuff. And then I've got this really cool fish here. I tried to practice a carp, wasn't great because it doesn't have the right shape, but it was fun to draw anyway. A couple more little flash pieces. More flash. These I actually drew when I was in a car. I was waiting for the shop to open, and then I drew these later in the day. I love this one. I think this one's really fun. And then some more. So we've got a snail eating a strawberry, a tea bag, a skull and some flowers, a worm. This is from Halo. We've got a moon and some crystals, dirt and worms, and then a really pretty whale. Over here we've got a bug and some mushrooms, some different potion bottles. These are actually older. These I did quite a few years back in a drawing book that I was doing, but I ended up wanting them, so I took them out and then drew this one next to it. And there's actually, it looks like something behind here, so let me see what that is. Looks like we've got a cute little frog here, and some more flash. So I'll put those back in there. So you just saw these. I really love how this one turned out. It's based off of a different flash tattoo I saw online. These look really nice. These were some of the first drawings I did. You can see that's in August, when most of these are in October. Here's some more flash I did here. Got a wolf and some flowers. Or no, that's not a wolf, that's a kitsune, my bad. I see the mask now. A tarantula and some flowers. You guys know I'm obsessed with spiders. A lizard. It looks like a sunflower, a butterfly and some flowers. More flower practice. More flower practice. This was really hard to do. So this one I actually colored in around the flowers so the flowers wouldn't have a hard line to them. So it's like a negative space drawing, which I have not done many of, so that one was really hard. Some more flowers. Some more flowers. I would say that one's really good looking. And then some more flash pieces. I was just practicing redrawing them. More flowers. This also has that reverse negative effect. I tried to redraw the same exact picture again, but a little bit differently. More flowers. Some flowers and a skull. And I tried doing it with charcoal, so that page is really messy. And then these are supposed to be tomatoes, like those big fat tomatoes that you like cut in half, and they kind of look like they're like snowflakes in a way. So I've got those and some mushrooms. Some more kitsunes. So this is some really old snails that I have. A really old gorillas drawing that I did. These are just some drawings I was working on that didn't amount to anything. This is the stencils to originally when Mason was trying to pick which one he wanted, and he ended up picking that top one, which I already showed you. This was pretty cool. One of my mentors gave me an assignment, and it was to take all of these flash that I'd drawn and redo them 3 times. So the first time that I did it, it was the colors that I imagined them to be, which is this one. And then the second time I redrew it, it was the inverse of those colors, so the exact opposite. And then lastly was to pick 3 primary colors, so I have the red, the yellow, and the blue. So those were pretty cool. And then this is also the same thing, but just with them shaded in if they were black and gray. So lots of different little tasks in there. That looks like it was just a practice one. Some more bugs. Messing around with Pokemon. More stencils. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. This is the next one that I worked on. So this is a different sketchbook. I did this really pretty lady here staring at a butterfly. I also did one with a man. I did some cool like light bulb ones. With these, I think they should just be the one page. So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, that way you can see better. There we go. This one is a Japanese traditional one. This is the first Japanese traditional one that I tried to do, and I think it turned out pretty. A fun giraffe, and then I'm playing around with leaving some negative space in there, just to see how that looks, because I've never really done that with a drawing before. A really badly drawn robin. Groovy. Some more flash. You can see I came back to this hand just because I was enjoying drawing the shape of it. I'm not good at drawing hands, so I just really enjoyed that. This is, I was trying to draw pizza that was melting raw. I was just playing like, this is supposed to be over pepperonis. What would it look like if there was cheese over the nose? These kind of things. Another version of it. A big ship with some flowers. This lady with birds over her face. This was really cool. So I was told that I was only allowed to shade and crosshatch, so I did a ship, an octopus, and a bunch of crosshatching. Some more little flash pieces. A bug. These I really love. So I don't know if you can tell with the camera, but these are all just dots. There's no line work at all except for the flowers or the stars. So that looks really cool. Love that style. I was trying to draw a fish. Another drawing of a fish. This time I used a stencil and popped it on there, and then was trying to work on the shading. A forest. Tree. Another tree. Another tree. A tree. Some Dragon Ball Z flash. Here I was working on hardness scales because I'd asked my mentor, you know, I've never been trained with different pencils before, so I asked what the letters meant, and so he gave me an assignment to do that. If you hear a weird buzzy sound, my dog's playing with her toy, sorry. This is working on lighting because that's something I've never been classically trained on before. More hardness tests, more shape work. This one's really cool, a hot air balloon. An anchor and some flowers. Another tree. Some more cube work. More little flash pieces. Moth. Some more working with shading. You can see it in the beginning, like a lot of the problems I had is it wasn't a smooth gradient to get to the other shades. There's almost like a weird line there. And I wasn't allowed to smudge it with my finger. So I was trying really hard to get it. This is one that Chris, one of the other artists, did to kind of show me how to make the glow and how to make the gradient smoother. A bird. Caw-caw! More spheres. I was bored, so I just did some doodles of diva plants, which are just like little monsters I like to draw. Like, they aren't actually anything, I made them up, but I just enjoy drawing them. Playing with Pokemon and pumpkins. More cubes. Some funny little flash pieces. A ballerina with a donut. Some more animals. So once again, these are dots, no hard lines except for whatever the design is in them. I just thought it would be fun to make some little ones. This cool punk rock girl. More work with cubes, which I was getting annoyed at. A dragon with some floors. I was messing with a Cheshire cat. Tea bag and a little banjo type thing. Playing with dragons again. This one I was really excited about because I was trying to think of what would be something that's really creative. And so I made this dragon with a tiger. So, but I wanted it to be like Japanese traditional looking. I'm really proud of how this turned out. I think it's cool. A hand study. Yeah, this was me drawing my hand, but like as an alien kind of thing. My son Ronan decided he wanted his hand drawn, so I did that. A witch burning at the stake. I think I drew this one a couple times. I did with a couple different faces and stuff, just kind of trying to get the idea. This one has more emotion to it, I think. Some more spheres. You no longer can really see, except for in that one, a circle around it, so I was trying to do it without outlines. Another tree. This was like a concept art for a woman in an umbrella with a frog hanging out. Like that was just the rough idea. And this is what I ended up actually drawing, which I really like. This I was bored, so I just drew a weird alien tentacle thing. Playing around with the idea of a Dias Los Muertos dog, or maybe a skull. Freddy Krueger. Another Freddy Krueger that's more in my style. So these, what I was doing with these is you would take this image and then take lead behind it and then stamp on the image but draw over it. So it's like making your own stencil, but then I went through and I shaded it based on what I saw in the picture. And this is what I came up with. I really like how this turned out. Like I was just trying really hard to understand where the dark blacks were, where the shades were. I also did this one. So here's this lady. And then this is the picture that I ended up drawing, or shading in rather. And then I tried to do one of me and my son. So this is our faces. I think that one's pretty good too. And more cubes. I was making some plans for a machine and ink picture, which actually that picture I did end up finishing, but my mentor has it. This is another version of it. Pretty big though. I was getting really bored with doing cubes, so I asked if I could do them in color. So this is my try with those all in colors. More circles and cubes. I feel like these spheres look a lot better, or they're starting to. A snake, ball, and chain. This is a kitty on top of a ball of yarn. These were supposed to be oranges growing on a tree. I am evil Homer. So at this point in time, what was happening is in Fortnite, it was the Simpsons season, and everybody was doing the I am evil Homer dance. So I just drew it because I thought it was funny. This right here is supposed to be like the celebration of Yule. It's got all the candles you're supposed to light. It's got pentagram. It's got the goat back here, and then you've got cinnamon and oranges. And then a little Yule log. Pretty cool. I was playing around with negative space again, but I gave up on it. Here I was just pooting around drawing another Simpsons thing. And I think that might be it for this. Yeah, so that's it for that one. And this next one, these two actually kind of go together. So with these, like this one was more my planning sketchbook style, and then this would be like what the actual thing was. So for example, I was playing around with the idea of a lady with a mushroom head who is naked and flipping off the world. I just thought maybe that would be fun. And so that caused me to draw this lady. I'm not going to black that out because I feel like this is artistic. I don't feel like this is bad nudity. So this is supposed to be like spores coming out. Maybe she's a magic mushroom lady. I don't know. But that's what I ended up drawing for it. And then more trees. This was a I was trying to redraw a tattoo that I saw. This one right here. So before I moved to this mood board, I just wanted to show you I did this really cool picture with these crystals. And then the next thing I was doing was designing my husband's second tattoo, which he ended up going with this one, and I'll put a picture in if I can find it. But these are the 4 that he was choosing between, and this is my mood board of like different ideas, different fish that we were looking at. We ended up going with fancy guppies, and I turned them into fancy guppies, like with their hats and stuff. So that's what that is. And then let's see, we've got this page here where the idea was the skeleton pulling self out of like the river of sticks, kind of like with hands grabbing him and pulling him back into the water. That's what I originally wanted to draw, but I couldn't get it to quite look like that, so instead I ended up going with this. So you can see him, he has way too many ribs, by the way. And you can see another skeleton like pulling him back into the water. And yeah, I kind of wish I would have done like a spider like dropping down there, but that's okay. The next one was, this is a tattoo that my mentor did. So it's a study of Persephone, and I just tried to redraw it by looking at my arm, which is why it's so warped and stuff. But I put a note here, practice hair and face proportions, because mine didn't look right. And then on this one, I was trying to do a realistic eye, and I tried to do white pens to get kind of a glisten in there, but you can see my whites were wrong. So this was how to draw hyper-realistic eyes step by step by rapid fire art, and that's the eye that I ended up drawing. And then I tried again, but in pen, so it's a little bit bigger and you can see it with pen. And then I drew a snake, and I was kind of working on it, but I wasn't sure how to do the white scales, so I kind of gave up on it. And then this is just like a light sketch of my dog laying down. Got some more fish and hands, which I'm not sure that you can see that really well on the camera, which is fine. A little shrimp. These are just ideas because I wasn't sure. Like maybe a cat with a clover staying in a ball, maybe an alien with a cow. A little kid drew on this, so I was like, this is courtesy of this child. These are different sea turtles as like a Celtic knot style. And then this one I left blank in case they wanted like dates in it. And then the idea was to do some sort of moth with a face under it. I did try to do that, but I just couldn't get the face to look right, so I never finished it. And then that's it for this journal, but there's still some in this one. So we were trying to come up with ideas to put in. They have like a candy ball machine, and you can put like a quarter in it, and you can get like balls out of it. So they wanted to put in little drawings into it. So I did this one, taco penguin. This one is like a worm with a cowboy hat. This is a pizza. Like it was supposed to be kind of Ninja Turtles themed. I'm really proud of how this Triceratops came out. I think it looks really cool, and it even has kind of like a heart shape to me in a way. I did a chess piece. I think that's the knight. I don't play chess, but I think that's right. A little lighter with some fire coming out of it. This really cool little monster, I liked him. He's just like a one-eyed monster with a big toe. I don't know why, I just wanted to draw something like that. And lastly, in the back here were some Friday the 13th ideas. Yeah, so those are all the things that I have been working on. Hopefully that catches you up on some stuff. Like I said, I haven't done a video in a while. I'm actually sick, which is probably why I don't sound great right now. But I really hope that you enjoy this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!